for boxing. Shout out to the LDBC. Shout out to Marlowe's Corner, Trey X, and the whole block fam. You got the AJ and Ruiz rematch happening on December 7th. That's this Saturday. I think that fight is going to be somewhere around 4, maybe 6, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over here on Saturday. I'm sure it'll be cleared up between now and the weekend. But anyway, on fight night, fight day, however you want to call it, go over to Marlowe's Corner 2 and listen to Trey X call the fight. Listen to the panel. Go over there and get engaged in the chat and enjoy yourself on fight night. All right. There's a lot of fights on that card, so it'll be a long day of watching fights. Then after that, you got Jamal Charlo's fight against Dennis Hogan as well. So it should make for a great fight weekend. All right. So, and speaking of fights, I want to talk about the rematch of Andy Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua, or Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz. Excuse me. We saw what Andy Ruiz done to Anthony Joshua in the first fight. Ruiz got dropped in the third, got back up, dropped AJ, and basically seized control of the fight. In my opinion, Andy Ruiz never let up and pretty much maintained control of the fight until the stoppage. Now, there were some rounds in that fight that were kind of pick 'em rounds at the beginning before any of the knockdowns, and then maybe one after the initial knockdowns. It may have been another one. Maybe the fourth round may have been a pick 'em round or something like that. But anyway, can't remember off the top of my head which rounds the knockdowns were in. But we know that the judges had Anthony Joshua ahead in that fight. Of course, they hadn't taken into account any knockdowns that occurred in the final round. But you know, in my opinion, there's no way Anthony Joshua should have been ahead in that fight, even at that point. That leads me to believe that should this fight go the distance, Anthony Joshua is going to be awarded a decision almost regardless of what happens. And anything other than Andy Ruiz getting several knockdowns, and I mean several knockdowns, it's going to be tough for him to win a decision. We've seen a lot of decisions on the zone go the other way from what they should have. With the Golovkin fight, you had Kovalev was dominating Canelo just off the jab before he got stopped. Now, of course, he got stopped, so it didn't matter. But when you look at those scorecards, Kovalev was in a situation where he needed I think Kovalev needed to win the last 2 rounds on the judges' scorecards to get a majority draw, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's the way it was. He might have needed to win them and get a knockdown. I'm not sure. I can't remember off the top of my head. But I do know that he was behind on the cards. And I didn't see any reason he should have been behind. Myself, I personally had going into the 11th round, I only saw 2 rounds to give Canelo clearly. Not saying there weren't other rounds that were pick-em rounds, but I saw 2 clear Canelo rounds. And I saw several clear Kovalev rounds where Canelo did nothing but following around the ring getting jabbed. That said, with the referee that they've assigned that has very little championship fight experience, especially on this level, the zone not being able to take a loss, you know, they keep finding reasons. Even when you look at the Callum Smith guy who got beat up in his last fight against John Ryder and won a unanimous decision. You know, Golovkin, same thing. Canelo, you know, like I said, with Canelo being up on the cards when he shouldn't have been. It's just a myriad of fights. Not going to rattle them off just going down the list. But anyway, I think the odds are stacked against Andy Ruiz. I think Andy Ruiz definitely needs to establish his dominance early on in the fight. He needs to seize the moment, take control, and he needs to be the boss in there from the opening bell. He needs to leave no doubt, go out there and in emphatic fashion, conduct himself as the champion that he is, and all the pressure should be on Anthony Joshua to try to take it from the champion. I think there's a lot of doubt in Anthony Joshua's head that if Andy Ruiz can take the play away straight away in the fight and take the lead, all that doubt comes out. And AJ will start to doubt himself whether he even belongs in that ring. Not only with Andy Ruiz, but in the ring at all. And I think Andy Ruiz has to make AJ question himself immediately. Don't allow him to get comfortable. You know, he's not in front of his UK fans where he wants to be, where he always talks about feeding off the crowd and so forth and so on. He's out of his comfort zone, as is Andy, but Andy's done this before. You know, so let's see if Andy Ruiz can pick up where he left off, or if Andy Ruiz lets AJ take the play away from him and in turn wrestle those titles away from him. Me personally, I got Andy Ruiz by stoppage inside of 6. I'm going to go out on a limb and call it the 5th round. But, and I'm calling it this way because this is what I feel like Andy has to do. And I think Andy has to know this. I don't think Andy Ruiz is naive and believes he's going to get a fair decision over there on this DAZN card with Matchroom, you know what I'm saying, with all the mess going on with Matchroom, with allowing fighters to fight, you know, under suspicion of steroid use and so forth and so on. I think he knows what he's up against. He has a job to do. Andy Ruiz just simply needs to go out and do his job. That's all I got to say on it at the moment. I will definitely make another video as we get closer to fight night. But as always, shout out to the LDBC, Marlo's Corner. And please go over there and subscribe to Marlo's Corner, Marlo's Corner 2. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel as well. I'm out. Peace.